Jazz Drum Hang, and I'm Chris Smith. Welcome back. This is episode 70, and it features my 2 tried and true secrets to keeping the tempo while you play. But first, of course, the record of the day. Record of this episode is Ben Webster and Associates. This 1959 recording is one of my favorite records of Ben Webster. He's, I have to say it's probably like Coltrane, Joe Henderson, Ben Webster, Dexter Gordon, Stanley Turrentine. I don't know. I just named 5, so I can't say those are my top 5, but those are the 5 that came out of my mouth when I was just talking right now. So Ben Webster's in there. This record is great because it not only features Ben, but it features 2 other masters, Bud Johnson and Coleman Hawkins, both on tenor saxophone. In addition, we get Roy Eldridge on trumpet, Ray Brown on bass, and the great, swinging, masterful drumming of Papa Joe Jones, not Philly, Papa Joe Jones. So, check out Ben Webster and Associates. Alright, so keeping the time, keeping the tempo is one of the main jobs that we have as a drummer. And as a jazz drummer, it gets even more complicated because we have so many duties to do during a song. Yeah, we don't just have a groove or a part where we're just playing the same thing over and over, right? We're interacting with the soloists, we're thinking ahead about where the song is going to go, if there's written material, if there's some sort of ending, if there's a coda, especially then in a big band where we have all these things we have to keep track of and set up and dynamics and a ton of things. A lot of times tempos can get away from us. Speeding up the tempo during a song is generally, as long as the music feels good, is more acceptable than slowing down. Slowing down is the biggest sin. I'm as guilty as anyone. There's recordings I've made where I have a real hard time going back and listening to it because the tempo dropped, the energy dropped, and it just didn't feel good anymore. So there's very few examples of drummers who, when the tempo actually settles a little bit, it still feels great. There are more examples of drummers who speed up a little bit over the course of a song, and that's generally okay because the energy is good. So how do we keep the tempo? These are my 2 secrets that I have thought about over the years of playing that I teach my students that I know work. Number 1, the count off and the time during the first 4 and 8 measures of the song is the most important. Do not get overly concerned with anything except the tempo, the first 4 or 8 measures of the chart. Now, get your body ready. Pay attention to the band leader and get your body moving a little bit in time. So if the band leader's up there, 1, they're snapping their finger, they're trying to feel where they want it, watch them. Don't stare at the music. Don't rearrange your gear. Oh, this cymbal should be a little higher or lower. At this point, that's done. You have to pay attention to the band leader 100%. Listen for their time. See if you can internalize that tempo before they even say 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Secondarily, put your body in motion. So many times I have students who I see them, they're like completely still, and then the count off goes 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they snap into motion. I'm like, think of it as like you're about to run a race and you get to actually jog a little bit before the starting line. Yeah, so 1, 2, 2, 3. I get my body starting the flow of the time so that it doesn't go from a relaxed state to a full 4 limbs moving in a second. Now, the second thing and the biggest tip and secret that I use is using the song as a comping device. Now, I'm going to play 2 examples of this for you. The first is a song called Chill from a Joshua Redman record called Mood Swing from the 90s. And the second is Mel Lewis playing drums on Lowdown, Thad Jones' arrangement composition called Lowdown. Use little phrases of the written song. So if you have a lead sheet and you're playing time, go back and refer to some of the short rhythms of the melody as comping devices, as comping vocabulary during the solos to do a time check. Is that rhythm the same as it was at the beginning of the song? Because I'm using my ear to check the tempo, I'm using my physical body to play the rhythm, so sometimes you might speed up so much that you can physically no longer play the rhythm that you started the song with. Then you know you sped up a lot, and you need to put on the brakes and you can't let it go any further. Additionally, you may play it and it feels much slower than it did before, so you start, getting it back to maybe where it needs to be. Here we go. Now the second example is low down. I'm going to play along with the recording a little bit, not overly played, but play along 2 before letter E. There's a 2 measure figure. 1, ba, do, da, da, bo, dee, do, ba. That figure I'm going to use as a marker of how's my time, checking it every once in a while with my left hand on the snare drum. I'll use that 2 measures as a comping phrase. Now, during the solo, Glenn Drews is playing. I will also listen to Glenn, but I will read ahead. I'm going to go and try to sight read at letter O. I see there's a lot of rhythms at O. I'm a little freaked out about what will happen when we get there, so I'm going to play time, and I'll cue you so you and I know that I'll be playing with the soloist, but I'll start reading the rhythms at O, and basically I'm taking the sight reading aspect out of the chart. So I'm not only checking my tempo with written material, but I'm also reading ahead and helping myself there. of Jazz Drum Hang, thank you. If you're not and you're watching this video, then you are very lucky to watch it for free. But you need to become a member of Jazz Drum Hang. There are just days upon days of episodes waiting for you. Common sense tips like this, but also vocabulary from drumming legends, fun fills, ways to use rudiments, ride cymbal technique. It's all there. Additionally, the virtual studio at Jazz Drum Hang is all the episodes plus a discounted one-on-one lesson that streams right at Jazz Drum Hang. It's very convenient and it's a very good value. So, jazzdrumhang.com. I'm Chris Smith. Thank you for being here. Thank you for playing drums. Continue on your path, and I hope to be a part of it. All right, see you later. Take care.